Hey there, my friends, it's Brad, the Bearded Piper, and today is January 21st, 2023, and I want to wish you, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and all the squirrels in your life a very happy and safe Squirrel Appreciation Day. And yeah, I like squirrels. I think they're pretty cool and cute, and unfortunately with our dogs, I can't really have a squirrel feeder where I can watch them because they will catch them. They have done it in the past. Icon brought me a squirrel one time. He was very, very, very proud of himself, and I was bummed out because on the top part of our yard, I kind of watched that squirrel grow up, while I was mowing the grass and things. And Icon's like, hey, look what I have. So, you can't fault them for it. That's, in their nature. So, but I'm out in the garage. It's Saturday and it's nice. It's not cold outside. It's cool, but I'm enjoying the day. This has been a weird week. I picked up an Amazon Kindle to read books on. Ordered it on Saturday last week and it came Monday. And there's a thing called Amazon Warehouse. You got to check it out. Google it, look it up, Amazon Warehouse. And I ended up getting like a $160 Kindle, $43 case, and I paid less than $100 for it. Now they're like pre-opened packages, or the packages were damaged in the warehouse, or they went out to somebody and somebody decided they didn't want it and sent it back, type of a thing. The Kindle was repackaged, and the reason I'm saying it was $200 worth is because they sent me not the lowest grade, but not the lowest grade Paperwhite, the one right above it, which means it has no ads. And believe it or not, when you buy a Kindle, you have to pay $20 extra to not have the ads on it. And all the ad is when it goes into the screensaver, it's an ad for a book. But from what I understand, if you just contact Amazon, they'll take that out away for free. They don't usually charge you for it anyway. But anyway, I picked that up. It came on Monday. I really love it. It's awesome. Again, check it out, Amazon Warehouse, and you can save a ton of money on stuff. No warranties on it, but you do have 30 days to return it if there's a problem with it. And then Tuesday, I had my knee scoped. I hurt it I hurt my left knee back in the fall of 2021. I did not listen to my wife and go get it taken care of, which is, a problem. I should have listened to her. She's not out here, so I can say that she was right. And I waited until July of 2022. I got a cortisone shot, and then right before Thanksgiving a couple months ago, it started hurting it worse than it did before the cortisone shot, and they sent me for an MRI, and I had a pretty big tear in the meniscus, and I had a pretty large bone spur from the bone rubbing on the bone. The doctor told my wife on Tuesday after the scope that the meniscus tear wasn't anything that he wasn't expecting, but it was pretty big. He knew it was going to be a big tear, and it was pretty big. It was bigger than, I guess, the average meniscus tear. I don't know if there is such a thing, but I guess the bone spur was a lot bigger than what he was expecting. And there was a lot of extra grinding, and the bone started to bleed, and this is way too deep. You guys don't want to hear all the gory details. But anyway, I've got a lot of swelling, a whole lot of swelling. My left knee is huge. The pain is pretty much gone. A certain way I step on it, it will hurt. Side to side pressure on it definitely hurts. But it's much, much better. Much, much better. And don't need crutches or anything like that. I was full load bearing right out of the gate. So, but yeah, anyway, here we are, 3.5 minutes into it, and told you about my week. That's all you're here. You're here because you want to find out about my funky bag of pipes. No, it's not a funky bag of pipes. It's a bag of funky pipes. There's a difference. There's a funky bag of pipes, which is a funky bag, which means that's a really cool bag and it's full of pipes. And then there's a bag of funky pipes, which means it's a bag and inside it are pipes that are funky. So, big difference. But before I go any further, I am enjoying some Boswell's Railroad Station, which I picked up in November when we were out there. And I don't know why I do these things, but I picked up 4 ounces of it without even trying it, and I'm glad I did because it's really, really good. I also picked up 4 ounces of Northwoods because everyone gets such accolades and everybody says how wonderful it is. And it's okay. It's pretty good, but the Railroad Station's so much better. I wish I would have got 6 ounces of Railroad Station and only 2 ounces of Northwoods. I have to look into it a little bit more and figure out why the difference is. So let me tell you about my bag of funky pipes. So last Friday, which would be a Friday a week ago yesterday, actually it was Thursday a week ago, 2 days ago, my buddy John, who is he's kind of my pipe mentor. I'm not going to deny it. He's kind of my pipe mentor. He asked me if I'd be interested in a funky Brigham. And of course I'm interested in a Brigham, like absolutely. So we made arrangements and I went over to his house last Friday. Sorry about that. It was a great time. He showed me some of his pipes and some of the things, and with me getting the Kindle, he showed me some of the things that you can do with a Kindle with books and EPUBs and stuff like that. Too much stuff there. But before we went downstairs to have enjoy a pipe together, we went through this funky bag of pipes. Now, our friend Bill passed away. It'll be 2 years ago. I think they said in February. And his house has been pretty much closed up all that time. And his son found a bag of pipes in the living room that had been sitting there since Bill passed away. So in it were a bunch of, here, see, it's not a funky bag. It's just a regular bag, but in it is funky pipes. So in it were a bunch of pipes that were just, you know, various pipes. They're nothing spectacular, nothing. They're just pipes, right? That Bill was taking to shows and things like that. So John asked me, because he saw the first pipe he pulled out was a Brigham, immediately thought of me. So he asked me if I was interested in it, and I said absolutely. You know, we already discussed that. So I went over to his house, and he's like, hey, check these pipes out. I know you like to clean them up. I know you like to do those types of things. So let me show you these pipes. And if you want them, you can have them. So the first pipe he showed me was, well, I don't know if it was the first pipe or not, but he went through these pipes, and this is a K-Woody. And I don't know if you can see that white stuff in there? From being in the bag all that time, it kind of got this icky stuff on it. Now this stem is so loose I can literally shake it out because it's been sitting there all the time. And this is a modern day K-Woody. It is a push-pull tenon, so that's easy enough to you know, a little bit of beeswax, a little moisture in there, that'll tighten that up. And then after you enjoy it a few times, it'll be fine. Now this pipe is brand new. It has never been lit. So that was one of them. Then he had this one here, and this one just says on it, ENA by Brezzo, and ENA is actually in quotes, and that is this one. And again, it has, you can't really see it very well, but it has a lot of this white, dusty, funky stuff on it. And again, this pipe is brand new. It just really needs to be cleaned up, and to be honest with you, probably sanitized more than anything else. There was also this, I think this is considered to be a lumberman, maybe a Canadian, this Joby. Now this one here has been I think maybe a bowl out of it. Yeah, maybe a bowl out of it. But it's a Joby. It's very oxidized stem. And again, it has that white stuff on it. I haven't even taken a cloth and wiped these off yet. There is also this Plateau. This one here is a no name. It is a sitter, you know, on that flat spot, Plateau, and it's just full of that stuff down inside. This pipe has been enjoyed at least once or twice, so it needs maybe a light reaming. And again, sanitizing, because God only knows what that stuff was. This is a Dr. Gravo. And again, it's got full of the white stuff. It's got a ton of oxidation on this stem. And this is another really cool little pipe. And this one here is a Stanwell. Or wait, is that a Savinelli? No, it is a Stanwell. This here is a Stanwell. This again, brand new, never been enjoyed before. I'm trying to see where this one was made. This is a Stanwell that was made in Denmark, so this one was actually before they moved operations to Italy. And again, it is full, you can see right there that white stuff, it is full of this white powder, which I'm assuming is some type of a mold or a mildew or something that had just settled into the bag, being closed for almost a year and a half, almost 2 years. You know, the heat, the cold, all of that stuff was perfect, and it was enclosed in the bag. And then there is this little pipe here. Now this one's definitely been enjoyed multiple times, and I don't think this one has any nomenclature on it at all. It does not. Bill had it marked at, I think it says $45. But again, I can't find any nomenclature on it, and it's just a little lumberman here. And, you know, this one definitely needs cleaned and sanitized. And then the one that John thought of me about is this one here, and this is a Brigham. This is a Brigham. There's no number on it. So this Brigham actually has me very, very curious. I want to wait until I clean it up because you can see that white stuff in there. And I want to wait until I clean it up before I send any pictures out to anyone to get information on it. Now, I didn't bring a Brigham out with me, which I should have, but they typically have a long tenon, and they take those long rock maple distillators, and this one is not. It's just drilled out. It's just a regular standard tenon. Originally, I thought this may be a replacement stem, but it's not drilled out at all for the rock maple distillator system. Not at all. I tried putting a regular stem, a Brigham stem in it, and it stopped, and then I shined a flashlight down through it. So it is only drilled out a little bit further than what this tenon is. So I'm very curious because I was not aware that Brigham made those. It's not stamped made in Canada. It's not stamped made in Italy, and the ones that are made in France aren't stamped at all. So I'm really curious about this pipe. Is it a second? Was it something that they tried to do? Without the distillator? Was it a run or series that they had? I am not sure. So that is my bag of funky pipes. Now I have a lot of work to do on these, and I got some downtime this week. Hope to get started on them. And most of them is just going to be cleaning up with some Murphy's oil soap, and maybe some Renaissance wax, some 151 proof vodka to sterilize them and clean them up because they're mostly new. So there's not a lot of tar or gunk to get out of them because they are new pipes. So some of them, like this, the couple of them that have been enjoyed at least once, it's going to be a really light reaming, like a really, really light reaming. Although my buddy Homer said that I may want to, especially with this Brigham, when you shine a flashlight down inside here, it looks as though the carbonized bowl coating that's on it may be flaking off or cracking a little bit. So Homer said that I may want to take a reamer and just lightly just touch and go around the sides just to see if any of it flakes off, so it doesn't like form some kind of a weird cake where there's like a bubble or something in it. So, but yeah, a lot of work to be done, and I'm going to start with the Brigham and go from there. So, but you can tell, I think this is, if you turn this stem this way, you can feel that this isn't correct, that it catches. But if you turn it back this, where it's to this side, there's a spot where it almost clicks into place, and it is as smooth as a baby's bottom. It fits perfect, and I don't think anybody would pay to have a replacement stem made for a Brigham, and because the pipes themselves aren't that expensive. But the fact that it's not drilled out for a rock maple distillator system tells me that this is probably the original stem. So it's gonna be interesting to find out. There's a guy in Canada, he goes by Dad's Pipes, who is pretty much a Brigham expert. He is actually in the process of writing a book about Brighams, and I think I'll reach out to him first, maybe put it on the Brigham Pipe Collectors Facebook page as well. So there you have it. That's my bag of funky pipes, not to be confused with a funky bag of pipes. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read some World War Z on my Kindle, and I'm going to enjoy this Boswell's Railroad Station. And then I'm sure that my wife's going to be contacting me out here soon saying, hey, it's dinner time. So then it'll be time for me to go in and eat dinner. That's kind of what you do at dinner time. So, but until we talk again, my friends, remember, it is better to pack that pipe light than it is to pack that pipe tight.